Alright, so we're going to continue with these examples. These are still practicing composite shapes. Alright, so if we look at this one here, a lot of people think that they can see 4 triangles in this shape. 1 at the top, 2, 3, 4. But if you're clever about this, you can break it down to only 2 triangles. So if we look at this one here, that's going to be our first triangle. So I'm going to write in red to show it comes from there. So we're doing the area 1 of the red triangle there. Now we can see it's a triangle, so it's a half times base times height. So the base of this is this whole thing here. So we have to add up the 5, the 8 and the 2. So if we come to the side and just do 5 plus 8 plus 2, that will give us 15 for our base. So we're going to write half times 15 for the base. Now, times the perpendicular height. Well, there's your base, here's your right angle, so this is your perpendicular height. You kind of have to look at this sideways. So 6 is your perpendicular height, and then you go to your calculator and put in a half times 15 times 6, and you'll get 45 for that area. All right, now, we're going to do area 2. So I'm going to mark it in blue. So it's this triangle I'm looking at. So area 2 equals a half times base times perpendicular height. So we have a half times. Now the base is exactly the same as the base of the red triangle. So it's still going to be 15 that we put in the spot for the base. Now the perpendicular height for the blue triangle, if you look at this sideways, there's your right angle, so that will be your perpendicular height, 3. And then you go to your calculator and you do a half times 15 times 3, and you will get an answer of 22.5. And then all you have to do is total up those 2 triangle areas. So we're going to do total area equals 45 plus 22.5. Use your calculator to add them up, and it will give you 67.5. It's kilometres squared. And that's your final answer. All right, looking at area 2. This one looks a bit strange, but they've already put a dotted line in here to help you. So we're going to look at the top one as area 1, the bottom one is area 2, and let's see how we go. Area 1, well that is a rectangle, so we're just doing length times breadth. The length is 30 times the breadth is 12. Work that out on your calculator and you'll get 360. So now we're doing area 2. Now area 2 is not a rectangle. So what could that be? Think about it. That side and that side, now they haven't drawn this very well. They probably should have marked this on, so I might mark it on now for you. But if I tell you that they're parallel, and I tell you that these are parallel, then you should be able to see that this is a parallelogram. And the parallelogram formula, a lot of formulas in this topic, is area equals B times H. So the base of this parallelogram is 30 times, now the perpendicular height, remember it's not this thing, it's the perpendicular height. So you've got to think, if my base, I have to extend it a bit and see a right angle. That's what they're trying to tell you here. They're trying to show you that if we extended this, there would be a right angle here. So they're giving you the perpendicular height there. So that's 22. And you go to your calculator and you'll get 660. So now we can total up our 2 areas that we've just found. The rectangle was 360 and add on the parallelogram area, which was 660, and go to your calculator and you're going to get 1020 millimetres squared. Okay, now I'm giving you this question here. Now some of you are going to freak out. That's okay. Don't panic. Just copy it down. If you think this is way too hard, just copy it down, okay? But those of you that want to be going up classes, need to be able to try and understand some of these questions so you can at least do some working in a test. Alright, so they've got a diagram here with lots of words on it and no numbers. They've told you that this is called the base. They've told you that this is called the height of the long leg. They've told you this is called the height of the short leg. And they've told you that this is called the width of the strip. So down here, it tells you some more information, and we have to actually write the numbers on that they're telling us. So it says, this shape is formed from strips of metal 10 centimetres wide. Well, 10 centimetres wide is telling you width. So we're going to write 10 centimetres up here. Okay, just do it in red pen so you can see you're adding these on. Right, the next one says the height of the long leg is 80 centimetres. Okay, so that's easy enough. You can just write 80 centimetres on that side. Then it says the base is 50 centimetres wide. So the base is 50 centimetres. And then it says the height of the short leg is 20 centimetres. So this is the height of the short leg, so this is 20 centimetres. Then it says find the area. Now the thing that people don't really understand about this is what they said at the beginning. So it says this shape is formed from strips of metal 10 centimetres wide. So this width of strip here, that's 10 centimetres wide. So they formed one by that being 10 centimetres wide. But so is this. This is also 10 centimetres wide. So you can write with your red pen 10 centimetres up there as well. And so is this. This is 10 centimetres wide. So we also know that this bit here is 10 centimetres from there to there. So a lot of people will miss that. So just be careful with that. If you think you're missing some numbers, it's probably because of that first sentence there. All right, so now we're going to split this up into shapes and see what areas we can find. So I'm going to call, I'll use a blue pen now. I'm going to call this one here area 1. I'm just going to split it down here. So I'm looking at that rectangle. So even if you can't do a question like this, you might be able to do bits of it. So area 1 we know is a rectangle and it's length times breadth. Okay, so we have 80 for our length and 10 for our breadth. So it's 80 times 10 and your calculator will give you 800. Alright, now with my blue pen I'm going to do this one for area 2 because it looks the next easiest to do. I'm just going to put a dotted line down here. So this is my rectangle. So I'm doing area of a rectangle formula for area 2, L times B. My length is 20 times, my breadth is 10. Use your calculator, you'll get 200. Now my last one is this one in the middle here, area 3. So it's this little piece here. So again, it's a rectangle. So I'm going to write area 3 equals L times B. All right. So what is our length here? This is a little bit of work to do. So we're trying to find this length here. How can we get that? Well, from here to here, remember it's a horizontal side, so we're looking at all the horizontal lines. So from here to here is 50, from here to here is 10, and from here to here is 10. So to get this piece, I'm going to do 50 take away 10, take away 10. So that will equal 30 for that side there, 30 centimetres. Sorry, I'll just get that out of the way. So we're going to have 30 for our length for this one, times our breadth, or B, is going to be 10. And use your calculator and you'll get 300 there. So all we're doing now is totalling up our areas. So we have area 1 is 800, plus area 2 is 200, plus area 3 is 300. If you add all those up on your calculator, you're going to get 1,300 centimetres, and it's squared for area. And that's your final answer. So I think if you have a look at it, it's probably not as hard as you think. The tricky bits were this bit at the beginning, 10 centimetres wide. Every strip of metal is 10 centimetres wide. So anything where you didn't have a number was pretty much going to be a 10. And then you can just work out the pieces you can. So even if you're in a test and you can just get that out, you'll get some marks. So just try and have a go at it and see how you go. All right, so have a go at the homework. Make sure you practice it, because if you don't do your homework, you're never going to improve on this work.